I've been asked for my thoughts on this overall story because of some of the topic matters that I sort of go through, as well as the fact that I'm from Dallas where this took place. I'm not going to take the angle talking about the case or anything like that. I want to talk about something really specific because it really points out the Stockholm syndrome that I've talked about not only in videos but in songs, with the band. So with this whole Amber Guyton thing, I believe that's her name. There was an instance where the guy that she killed, her brother, or his brother, there's a scene where they hug. He forgives her. And I've seen multiple sides of that. I've seen people like, oh, this guy's more of a man than I could ever be. I've seen people say that, this is what we should strive to do, who we should strive to be. And then on the other side, I've seen people use some interesting rhetoric when it comes to analyzing this situation. A lot of black statists who are saying silly things such as, and it's only silly for the reason that I'll go in depth, but they say, well, we got to stop doing this. We're forgiving the oppressors. And I thought that just specific rhetoric was just really weird because some of the same people who argue me up and down on any given day, bug dance every given election cycle, have nerve to say that somebody forgiving a person that does a wrongdoing is something that they shouldn't be doing when they do it and live it every day. And it just goes into the stratosphere when it comes to election cycles. My experience when it comes to these black statists, these guys are front line, especially guys that support the state socialism, front lines. Whenever I say I want the state to be abolished, this is why I said, I got to do videos like this because it purges a lot of people from all different angles. It's not specifically why I'm doing the video, but every now and then I do a video that makes a lot of people mad on both sides. Well, it's not usually just two sides to a situation, maybe multiple sides. Let's say that. They may be even on opposite ends of the conversation, and I end up angering both. Now, you guys know I'm an anarchist. You guys know that's the sort of libertarianism I adopt. I am an anarcho-capitalist. I am not an advocate of statism by any means. But when I say I want to abolish the state, or I say I want to abolish, let's say, the public educational system, which is even a position that a lot of obviously minarchist libertarians who I find to be allies, obviously, they have that position as well. Some of the people that are front lines in defending that institution, that criminal institution that it is, are some of these same black statists. There's somebody threatening whatever socialistic program is out there. I say I want to abolish that. Well, we need that, right? Is what they tell me. You're crazy for thinking that. We just got to change the rules, give them new rules to follow, which effectively is forgiving the oppressor, because those are the people that are orchestrating even some of the same legitimate gripes that you guys may have. They are the same people that they're a part of. Like, cops are just nothing but extension of the state. They're the teeth more so of the state. Those public school teachers, they're agents too. But anytime I threaten that, dare to say this should be rid of. These are criminal, corrupt institutions that are not necessary, spend way too much money on it. And these fools fight tooth. I mean, when I say they jump down my throat, call me all sorts of names because I dared to say abolish public school. Effectively, and these people, they don't teach us about our history. Like, we talk about all of these, stuff that a lot of these black statists love to bring up history, love to bring up experiences that they never experienced, right? Everybody wants to be a victim. Everybody wants to be oppressed. So they bring up slavery, and yet they always fail to mention that since day one, fresh off the boat, slavery was a state-endorsed and protected institution. And then going after that, you had Jim Crow laws. Then you had all the Supreme Court laws, or Supreme Court rulings, more so, that were, criminal. Let's call them what they are. or what they were. And they fight to protect these institutions. And they have nerve to be mad at somebody because they hugged somebody that killed their brother. And more so, I don't care really about how you feel about that. It's more about the rhetoric they use when they talk about oppressors and forgiving the oppressors. These guys get the bug dance for Barack Obama, the Democratic Party, every 2-4 years, which are advocates of more government control. It's like, hey, there's no problem with the government. We just got to get the right people there. Oh, they don't mean bad things. Barack Obama could bomb more countries than Bush, but that's okay. He's suave. He's cool. Don't you dare say anything bad about him. Kamala Harris, she advocates, had a big hand in jailing all these black people. Who cares? It's okay. She's the best, right? These are the same people. Want to have nerve to say that somebody else there hugs the person that killed their brother, which admittedly does take a certain kind of man to do that. But I'm not here to talk about whether you forgive or you would. That's really irrelevant. It's more so about the rhetoric of those individuals who say stuff like they're forgiving their oppressors. What in the world is it that what should we call what you do when you fight me? And it probably happened later today when you're watching this video. You probably can go to my Twitter right now and there's probably some black statist angry because I dared to threaten the status quo when it comes to the state. That I dared to say they should get out the way. That I dared to say they should stop taxing. It'd be the same, these institutions, these public school teachers, professors, black professors, and black statist advocates are the ones front line protecting that institution. That is historically the same institution that was responsible for the things that obviously they didn't experience, but they always try to say is responsible for the struggle that they have right now when it comes to slavery, Jim Crow, and all of those. Those are state sanctioned, endorsed, protected. If we're going to say what that man did is forgiving or protecting their oppressors, what in the world do we call what you do? What do we call that? This is why I don't take y'all seriously. Like, this is cool, right? And I talked about this before. This is kind of a side note, right? And how, they have all these summits. These black folks have all of these get-togethers and conversations amongst each other, and he's yelling in these echo chambers. And I'm sitting here like, it's a wonder why, even though they know I exist, they don't ever invite me to those, right? And that's okay. Like, I'm not saying you gotta invite me. It is what it is. But I'd blow a hole in every single argument, non-argument, or position they claim to have, even if they claim to be on opposite sides of it. They're ultimately similar. They're on level one, certainly when it comes to understanding it. But I just think it's just so odd how we get all of these in mass. Fools, bug down. Why they're doing it right now, and they're going to do it certainly come the actual election. Bug dancing for some status, government official that often cases had a direct hand in your actual oppression. And you dare to say that somebody's gonna forgive the person that killed their brother, you call that forgiving their oppressors? How dare you? How dare you? Get out of my face, man.